the flesh, Pistolera, Lair, Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, and the Deep Dark. The self-published professional here, joined with Ron Christian, Space Hero 55 on Twitter, and we're talking Superman.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big Superman fan. So, but the surprising thing about this, like when you sent this to me on Facebook, I clicked on it, and I had heard about Michael B. Jordan being Superman before.
Me too. Yeah,
and then I read the actual. Like, I got initially. I was pissed off. I was really mad. Like, what the hell? Really? Is this still a thing? I thought this died. So I read it, and then I read that he was not playing Clark Kent. He was playing some other Superman from another Earth. And honestly, I was okay with that. I mean, at least it could have been way worse. He could have been Clark Kent.
Okay, now again,
and that would have
him being Clark Kent. That's feeding into the go woke syndrome. Like, get woke, everything, get woke, race baiting, race swapping our superheroes, iconic superheroes. Okay, we're talking about iconic superheroes. I get that. Okay, I'm seeing it from another perspective because I'm a creator, right? And I also like to challenge, the scope. I like to challenge the realm of superhero, right? Not trying to do that. That definitely wasn't what I was trying to do. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I'm absorbing this from a different lens, and I'm seeing, like, okay, I understand Superman, and I understand. Like, I'm the casual Superman fan. Okay, you gotta understand.
Probably a bigger Superman fan than you are, so
you know a lot more. I didn't know Calvin Harris existed. I knew Steel existed. I didn't know his name too much, but I knew Steel, and we had the 4 Superman or whatnot. Like, I knew he was
Henry
Irons, and okay, that's cool. Even though I don't see Michael B. Jordan as that role, but Calvin Harris, I don't know too much about him. But apparently, from what we're seeing here, Michael B. Jordan, right? He pitched, right, a Warner Brothers for a new Superman film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Michael B. Jordan pitched Warner Brothers on his vision for Superman. What's his vision? I don't know, and I don't think it would be to be a Clark Kent. I think here he told Winfrey that he'd be more interested in playing a slightly different character, Calvin Harris or Kal-El, the Superman of Earth 23, who was a black man and also the president of the United States. Now, here's the thing. Remember, I'm the casual Superman fan. I don't know about Calvin Harris. I didn't know he existed. And now we have what I hate in comics, when we have alternate Earth this, alternate, reality this, multiverse this. It's just, it gets
that's been part of DC since like the 80s. So
okay, so Calvin Harris been since the 80s?
No, Calvin Harris hasn't been since the 80s, but the Crisis on Infinite Earths event in the 1980s, I think 1985, I don't remember exactly when it happened, but in the 80s, that introduced the idea of a DC multiverse where there's different Earths.
Okay. So every DC has it. Marvel has it.
Marvel kind of has it with the Spider-Verse, I guess, with the different Spider-Man from different
Earth 616, whatever. I don't know. What I'm saying is, I'm the casual fan, right? I don't get into all this stuff because for me, once it gets like this, it's not fun. I'm just saying, maybe there's some great storylines I'm missing. It's just not fun for me. Now, when I see Michael B. Jordan wanting to pitch this character, I don't know much about Calvin Harris, right? So I'm going to share a little tab here about Calvin Harris, and maybe then again you can help me.
You did a little bit of research on the character.
Understanding, Calvin Harris. Why, I guess he's an important. I don't know. I'm just, again, you can help me out. So this is what we have here, right? Who is President Superman, right? Superman is undoubtedly one of the most powerful figures in the entirety of the DC universe. While the original Clark Kent version of the character has proven to be the most popular, there are other versions of the hero. I get it. So there's some storyline here where Wally West is recruited to save Calvin Ellis from certain death. Calvin Ellis is President Superman of another world. But the question is, why is this version of Superman important enough to send Wally? Again, I don't know. And going through the multiverse, again, you lost me. So when you're talking about a new movie and you're talking about Superman, okay, people that are casual fans, okay, they know Clark Kent. That's all they know. Now, when you want to incorporate Calvin Harris, I'm not saying it can't work, but again, you're trying to establish, at least in my perspective, a Calvin Harris Superman, a storyline that makes him the Superman. Like, how did he become Superman in Earth, this Earth 23? Do you know?
Yeah, yeah.
How did he
Yeah,
become? Do you know? What was his
No,
storyline?
I don't know much. I know about the character. I know a little bit about him. I read some Superman comics where he shows up in,
Well, he
but
shows up, but do we know his origin? How did he become Superman?
I don't really know much about his
We
origin.
know
So.
Superman Clark Kent is from another planet. He's an alien from another planet, right? And he just gets integrated into the American way through it drops in Smallville, Kansas, right? And he's taught the human ways, humanity, and he's learning to be a great human being and a superhero. And this is what we know as Superman. And there's a lot of talk about Superman being boring, yada yada yada. Well, how do we make it for today's world? Okay, well, if you think just making him black is the answer, or Calvin Harris, I don't know. I'm just saying I'm the casual fan, and when I'm thinking about it, and I'm looking here, President Calvin Harris, aka Kal-El, so he must be from that planet, Superman's planet, because he's Kal-El.
Yeah, on this other Earth, apparently maybe his original Kryptonian parents were black, or
again. So again, I don't. Again, I'm not to say they can't be black Kryptonians. I don't know. I'm a casual fan. I don't see that doesn't seem to be an issue to me. Maybe it could be. But again, he's in a different Earth. Does he look cool? Yeah, he's like his own thing, member of Justice Incarnate, which is like the Justice League. This is all kind of cool. But again, for the casual fan, how are you going to introduce him in a way that works? And this is my issue. When it's the black Superman, do we need another black Superman? Or do we need another black Superman, right? And this is where I'm saying where I know Icon, okay? And my thing is Icon is the superhero. He's literally the Superman mythos. He's literally a Superman.
Yeah. I mean, he is.
I'm going to share the screen here.
I know a little bit about Icon. Yeah.
Let's see.
I know he was created by Dwayne McDuffie, who was
that awesome. I know, Milestone Media, and Dwayne McDuffie. He wanted to change. He's like, hey, we don't got any cool black superheroes, or we don't have enough. So what did he do? He made his own.
And that's awesome. He didn't try to race swap any existing ones. He made his own, and that's really, really cool.
So I don't know much about Icon. All I did know is that he's like a black Superman, and that he was from another planet, and he landed on Earth during slavery times. I mean, during the time of slavery. Like, isn't that cool enough? Just in that sounds really cool enough.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
I'm just saying, and I'm the creator. I'm a storyteller. I look at things from an organic, fresh perspective.
You know what I would do?
We can bank on.
I would use an Icon movie to launch a Milestone kind of movie universe where I would have Icon, I would have Static Shock, I would have all those characters.
We got to look at the casual fan, right? Maybe casual fans don't know about Icon. Maybe some of them do know.
But a movie would introduce the character, you know? A movie would do it right, I think.
Okay. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's definitely something to do. But I'm saying let's just focus before we get to the big picture of we can do multiple franchises on muscle media.
Yeah, I get it.
Let's just focus on the Icon, because this is a black Superman right here. And he would work. I mean, in my opinion, from what I understand, he's an original character. He's not banking on a Superman name per se. He is a Superman, and he's crafted in a unique way. So let's look. Here's a picture of him, right? He looks kind of badass. He's in red and green, not your blue and red. He came in May of 1993, people. This is decades ago. This is some originality here. Dwayne McDuffie, who died before his time, who was a pioneer. Okay, and
he had a lot to do with the Justice League cartoon. He wrote a lot of the episodes and directed a lot of my favorite episodes of that show. So
he's an amazing man, right? He's a black man too, right? Who created these cool black superheroes because he wanted to see something fresh, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, he created these characters. They were bought out by DC, and I don't know if they did anything with them. But what I'm trying to say is, you have a treasure trove of awesome, information for this guy, Icon, who could literally be your new Superman, right? Created by Dwayne McDuffie and Dennis Cohen. Icon #1, May 1993. So let's know a little bit about him. He's here we go. Disguised as a human. He's an alien. Terminated, mutate. Aliases, Augustus Freeman. All right, here we go. known relatives. Let's get to we get some of his skills and abilities. Skilled in armed and unarmed combat, having fought in every American war from the Civil War to World War II.
Oh,
this
that's
is
cool.
Brilliant.
This
is brilliant, man. This is, oh my God. This is what gets me with Hollywood, where it's just like, again, Michael B. Jordan, I get you wanted to do a Black Superman, but my brother, you have an awesome treasure trove of resources with Icon that you could do your own franchise that could rejuvenate Icon in a way that people would be so excited about Icon because you have your own Black Superman. You don't need a copy-paste Calvin Harris, Kal-El from it. No, my man, you have it done here. You get what I'm saying? It's like in DC, from what I understood, bought the rights to Milestone Media. You have it here. Here we go. Right. So not only did he serve in the Civil War, he served in World War I, World War II. Do you know the storylines you could do with that organically without having to be too woke? You know, you could just.
I mean, the thing is, though, I mean, from this, it tells me that he put in originality in the character and his backstory.
This goes to show you about what Dwayne McDuffie did, right? Let's look at his powers. Icon is a member of the Terminian alien race. When his ship crash landed and reassembled his DNA into that of a human being, it had the side effect of mutating him, literally maximizing all his natural abilities, making very similar in power to a Kryptonian under a yellow sun. His powers grant them the following abilities, right? He has flight. He can fly. He's invulnerable. He has your Superman strength. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is why we create, right? I mean, you have Deadpool, you have Deathstroke, you have this is your Icon, this is your Black Superman right here. Why do we have to create a Calvin Harris for DC Comics when you got Icon? Could you just imagine Icon, right? And you're like, what's going on? You have Michael B. Jordan heading it. With his Hollywood connection, you get some notable producers on board, some directors. This could become an awesome vehicle. I mean,
I could see it being directed by the same guy who did Black Panther.
You can do that. You know, I'm just saying, there's a lot of potentiality for some greatness here, and originality is what I'm saying. And you can start a new franchise. Let me tell you something. Minority people, we watch movies, right? They're the Black people, they watch movies. They watch a lot of movies, right? There's no way you can say, guess what? We won't be able to sell this movie. You got Michael B. Jordan as Icon. People will be Googling who Icon is and noticing, wow, we have a Black Superman. If they weren't woken up, they can get a little bit more woke and notice that, wow, you actually got a superhero that's worthy.
Yeah, not even that, but I think on Twitter someone brought up that the rights to the Icon character is a little weird. But even having said that, let's forget about that for a second. Let's forget about that for a second.
There's a will, there's a way. Enough of that.
There's still like, John Stewart, Green Lantern, or Mr. Terrific, or Black Lightning. Those three characters that can do a movie.
You have
Michael B. Jordan to play them. You know.
So not only that, you have these cool Black superheroes that are DC created superheroes that could have their own story. John Stewart as a Green Lantern would think would be cool too. And then we talked about the Steel. But then you also have if you want to do something different and fresh, you got Icon right here. I mean, this just sounds badass, right? Let's see a little bit about his story. Look at here. He crash landed on Earth in 1839 on a cotton plantation. Are you kidding me? His life pod recreated his body by duplicating the DNA of the nearest life form, a slave woman. This is like genius. As a human infant, he learned a local language and the caste system of slavery based on his skin tone. Okay, we got the dynamics, right? Of the racial dynamics here. This is just life. This is history. Okay, we got this. He grew to love his Earth mother, Miriam. Arnis later discovered he had super.
Dude, this has awesome movie.
Are you kidding me? This is just like, we're in the era where this is a movie that can work without being too woke for your own good. Like, let it just flow naturally because you have it here. He uses power secretly to lighten the load of his fellow slaves. How awesome is that? And so we got likability, right? He sees the strain, the struggle they're going through. He helped them out during their struggles. He aided in the resistance movement dedicated to freeing slaves in the Underground Railroad. We're seeing this moral compass through this. You get what I'm saying? It's more than just a color thing. We're seeing that he's an alien, and we're seeing that he sees the oppression, he sees the bad treatment, and he's like, I want to save these people. I want to help these people. We're getting layers here of character development. He hit his time. He bit his time in hopes that Earth's technology would catch up to his own, allowing his ship to be repaired. How cool is that? He's like, man, we're dealing with a slow race here that they still haven't even, like, I can't even fix my ship to go back because the technology hasn't even got to where it has to be. This is amazing, guys. And this is probably never going to ever be a movie because we're going to do Calvin Harris Superman instead of this awesome gold mine and icon. By the time he was 15, slavery was abolished. He took the last name Freeman. He fought in the Civil War against slavery. Could you imagine? This is just so cool, right? Due to his mutated body, his virtual immorality, which he has managed to keep from the public by assuming his identity of his son throughout the years. I guess, that didn't make sense. Following the war, he attended Fisk University, where he studied law. Oh, my God. He passed the bar in several states that's able to support.
The thing is, though, I just read real quick now that he was a lawyer on his home planet, like, already, so.
Well, I didn't know that, but again, he became a lawyer here. So while building his law practice, he found his adopted mother, sibling. Harlem Renaissance. Yo, we got a lot of material here for a cool, interesting character, and he looks pretty badass. You know, he's not like just another cut and paste, carbon copy Superman, which in my opinion, what I see Calvin Harris is. He's just a black Kryptonian, just came down. And again, what we have here, what Dwayne McNuffie did, he added some backstory. He made him come down during slavery. He survived until current times now. Like, this is badass. And it's original. So Michael B. Jordan, this is where I think you should be pitching to Hollywood or doing your own thing as far as getting this out there. Because you got power, right? If you're in Hollywood and you already got contacts, you're established. Why just go? Okay, Calvin. Why? Maybe does he not? Maybe Michael B. Jordan doesn't know Icon even exists. That you're just thinking Calvin Harris is the best option.
I don't know. I mean, he said he's a comic book guy. You'd think he'd know about a prominent black superhero made by a prominent black creator, right?
Yeah.
I would think so.
So let's see. We got some comments here. Andrew J. We had Shaq as Steel. Don't be Shaq to That's funny, right? Don't be Shaq to the fool, Michael B. Jordan, right? Again, I don't know who owns the rights. We'll see. We got Kyle McCaskill. DC doesn't own the rights. Maybe they don't. They were not bought out. Okay, I thought they were. So that explains some of that. DC doesn't own rights. They own the comic publishing rights. So if they own the publishing rights, I could see where it's going to be hard, obviously, to do a movie. But if I'm Michael B. Jordan and you know your comics, my man, there's a way. When there's a will, there's a way that you have a gold mine with Icon and whatever you need to do to get the rights. I'm sure Dennis Cohen maybe have the rights since Dwayne McDuffie passed on. And I'm sure Dwayne McDuffie would love to see his story, on the silver screen the way it should be. So, again, I don't know much about Calvin Harris. For me, I'm a casual fan to be interesting, but I just see Icon would be great.
At the very least, you have to at least give Michael B. Jordan some credit that he doesn't want to race swap Clark Kent. At least that.
I'll give him credit in that, but when I look at the Calvin Harris character itself, it's a race swap.
Another actor be like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's time for a black Clark Kent, but he's not saying that.
Right, but if I get what you're saying, but if I look and I dissect Calvin Harris as a casual fan, because again, I haven't read up all that. You don't know too much as well either to know his origin. Yeah. For me, it's just a black Superman that was just on Krypton. Kal-El came down, and it's literally the same story. Now, did he come in during slavery times? Because that'd be an Icon of, that'd be them doing that would be kind of different, and that would make it interesting. But again, that's like almost kind of copying of the copying. We know Dwayne McDuffie did Icon inspired by Superman. But if you see how he layered his origin story, it's pretty beefed up. And it's not weak. He was well thought out.
Yeah, like my character, Paragon Prime, he's inspired by Superman. He's inspired by Captain America, but he has his own unique origin story that's unique to him.
And that's great. It's good to be influenced by something. So I give Michael B. Jordan the fact that, he doesn't want to just make him be a black Clark Kent. I get it. But again, if we're looking at Calvin Harris, at least me from a casual perspective, I just see Calvin Harris as just a black Superman. That's literally just a black Superman. When I compare it with Icon, I see Icon has more layered substance in there. He has a more enriched story. Now, what they could do with Calvin Harris, they could make Calvin Harris come during the time, like it would really be kind of copying what Icon did. If he comes during slavery times and we see how he goes, like how he builds his character.
So you mean combine Calvin Harris with Icon in a way?
I'm just saying
origins or something.
I'm just saying that's what I would do, and I don't know the legalities in that. I'm just saying what I do to make it interesting. Because if it's just another character that came, remember he came on a different Earth. That's the thing.
What I want to say is how expensive are the rights to the milestone characters? Like, they can't be that expensive, can they?
I don't know. It's just a matter. Again, I don't know. I'm sure that's stuff that could be worked out. Again, I mean, I did a story, Pistoleta. It's a Western, and that story isn't a big deal, but it got the attention of a producer, and we're in a contract negotiation to figure out audio-visual rights because he kind of wants to make a movie based on my story. Yeah. So everything has to work in with contracts, and I'm a nobody, literally just now getting into my own with comics, writing at least as far as when I say nobody, I don't got Hollywood connections at all. But when you look at my work, I got the pedigree where I put out great quality work. So what I'm trying to say with this is that Calvin Harris to me is not interesting enough. Now, if we shift the dynamic and we kind of put a little bit of Icon in there, I think it'll be interesting because if we look at Earth 23, I don't know about Earth 23. Remember, you're selling this to the casual fan. If you open this up that there's a bunch of Earths and there's a bunch, you're gonna be like, what? Like it's almost like the Spider-Man Far From Home. Right, like I love that idea where they got Mysterio from like this other Earth timeline, and I like how Mysterio played all that. But in the end, it was all subterfuge. In the end, it was literally him that never happened. He's literally from that Earth. But what they did is they sprinkled that idea, and it was in the back of your minds. And real diehard fans know about the multiverse. We get it. So there's a lot that they cater to the hardcore fans, but then you also got to cater to the casual fan. And I'm the casual fan in terms of Superman, especially Calvin Harris.
So would you say that like a movie like Into the Spider-Verse did that well too?
They did it very well because they explained it in a way that made sense for a whole new story. And I loved Into the Spider-Verse. You get what I'm saying? It worked. Like they're creating this dimension to find where, the Kingpin could get his family again. Again, they did that great. Right. And there it works. And then again, it's a CGI movie. So sometimes when it's a CGI movie, we let the imagination run rampant. When you come in with a live action Superman movie and it's a black Superman, Calvin Harris, there's a fine way you have to navigate this. And what I'm trying to say, you don't want to, you have to do it in a way where if the Clark Kent is going to even open in this universe, or we're literally shutting the book on that Clark Kent, and this Earth 23 is literally just Earth now. You don't get into the specifics. You just do your storyline that way. But then again, a lot of casual Superman fans won't know about that, and they'll just see it as another black Superman, and they'll be probably turned off by it. So what I'm saying is if you do the Icon way, it's a new story, it's a new superhero, in a time when the Marvel universe has already run its course after the Avengers game. They're trying to rebuild their formidability. So it's like, where I see Icon really coming in now and succeeding. Again, we're talking about something that Michael B. Jordan is pitching. This happens. It might be, I think, a couple years from now. But, that's just my 2 cents. Instead of, focusing on Calvin Harris, I would try to make something happen with Icon. In fact, that now that DC doesn't own the rights, but you can get things done.
Yeah, I'm just now I learned a lot more about the character, and I gotta say that'd be way more interesting,
dude. You got so much material. You got from slavery. Could you imagine a World War II arc with just him, and he's not gonna be in a superhero uniform, but he's gonna be doing superhuman stuff while he's like.
I could imagine the movie incorporating a lot of flashbacks to like those times.
Imagine you can see what he's been through. You can see all the horrors of just war and all that, the PTSD syndrome affecting the superhuman. There's so much mileage you could do with that. Like just me as a creator, just like I would love to even write an Icon, comic book story arc just for the fun of it, because there's so much mileage here. He really did his homework, and it's making me eager to see this kind of a movie done live action, like an Icon live action, or even as a television series would be ridiculous. And it's sad that, where no one's advocating for that. And it's just like, okay, well, we'll just have the black Batman, we'll have the black Superman, we'll have this, but when we have an original character that can work, we're not looking to franchise that. It's just like, well, we'll reboot this, Me, I created Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, right? It's inspired by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, no doubt. It's inspired by Star Wars, inspired by Saturday morning cartoons. Now, imagine if I have the option to sell that, but someone's like, well, do we want to invest in this property? We could always do another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reboot. It's like, damn, why not invest in something new that will cater to these target audiences that are massively populated?
Yeah.
Anyway, any last words?
Nah, I've said my piece. I'm good.
I said my piece, guys. This is just a little video that I thought would be cool to do. Icon as a superhero. If we get Calvin Harris as a Superman, it could be interesting if they incorporate some elements of what makes Icon interesting. But again, the legality is that is a whole other thing. Anyway, guys, if you like the channel, just I appreciate sharing it out. Definitely let me know what your opinion is. If you watch this, drop in a comment. What do you think? Black Superman or a new Black Superman? Let me know what you think, right? Let me know your thoughts. Andrew J., thank you for stopping by. Kyle McCaskill, thank you for shedding some light. And, we'll catch you on the next one. Be amazing, guys. Be awesome.
Later.